The Conjuring Last Rites. Is this the final Conjuring movie for Ed and Lorraine Warren? Let's talk about it. So this Conjuring film basically follows the same setup as the other ones. It's 1986. Ed and Lorraine Warren travel to Pennsylvania to go to this family's home where a thing has started terrorizing this family. Now, if you've seen the other Conjuring films, you know Ed and Lorraine Warren. These are real people. It follows their real investigations into paranormal stuff that's happening with people. And from the first Conjuring, they are just such magnetic characters. They're very intriguing. Their love story is just very engaging, and you really care about these two people. Their daughter also gets introduced early on in the franchise, and their daughter actually has a pretty big role in this film. Now, the way this film kicked off, it started really strong, and I was very impressed by it, very intrigued, and it had a lot of James Wan vibes. He directed the first two Conjuring movies, and I liked the way they were doing it. It set it up really nicely in the beginning. And moving forward, it really surprised me how sentimental and endearing this film started to become. You could tell basically they wanted a nice send-off for Ed and Lorraine Warren, for Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, who played these characters. They wanted a nice, cap off and like you to care about them as they leave. And I will say they were successful at that. Like I said, it's endearing. You really care about them. And, it was a really beautiful, nice send off. But I will say one thing that started to bother me in the movie was the little amount of time we were actually spending with this family that's in Pennsylvania that they're investigating. The structure just as it kept going, it felt really kind of clunky. And we would get a little bit of time with the family that's being haunted. And then it would cut back to Ed and Lorraine Warren and what's going on with them and their family. This wasn't always a bad thing. I really enjoyed it at the beginning when it started. And I was like, yeah, this is great. That's very endearing. It's a great send-off for them. But again, as it went along, it kind of just lost me a little bit, and I didn't really care about that family that was actually going through the traumatic event. The haunting and the kind of horror elements kind of take a back seat. You don't really get much of it. There's even a few times they cut back to this family in Pennsylvania that's being haunted, and some event happened that was really traumatic for them, and we didn't even get to see what happened. Like somebody being wheeled out on a stretcher, and they just kind of tell you what happened. We didn't even get to see what happened. And for me, so this movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes, and for a Conjuring film, that's pretty long. I think it definitely could have been a little shorter. It could have been structured better. This is directed by Michael Chaves. He directed the last Conjuring movie. He directed La Llorona and The Nun 2. So he, knows this universe really well. It seemed like he may have had a lot more material that he had shot and was working with that didn't end up making the film. That's just what it seemed like to me. All that being said, guys, this does have some good scares in it. To me, though, it's the least memorable, horror of the Conjuring movies. Again, it kind of takes a back seat to a family drama. So, take that what you will. If that sounds good to you, check it out. But if you're looking for a straight horror movie, yeah, it was very different than I was expecting. The visuals were all really well done. I think Michael Chaves has definitely upgraded as a director. When he first started with La Llorona, that was not very good at all. The directing, the camera work just didn't really work well. He's come a long way. I think working with James Wan, I think that that's really elevated his filmmaking. I appreciated the limited use of CGI. There wasn't a ton of it. A lot of it seemed very practical. So that was a nice touch. All of the performances in this film were good. I mean, nobody stood out as bad or kind of half there, half not there. Everybody gave 100%. Of course, our two lead roles, they are always fantastic in what they do in these movies. Overall, guys, if you are a fan of the Conjuring universe, I would definitely recommend going to check this one out because it is a very nice send-off for Ed and Lorraine Warren. If you care about their family, if you care about them, it definitely has a nice sentimental touch to it. I should also mention there are some nice little Easter eggs in this movie from all over the franchise. Some characters that kind of come back, make little appearances. So, that was kind of cool. So are you going to go check out Conjuring Last Rites? Have you seen it? If you did, let me know what you thought about it. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Look forward to more reviews very, very soon. And we'll see you guys next time.